Right. Welcome to the United Real Therapy, people. I hope you're not conked out after that second half watching that second. Snorefest that second half. We got Rachel. Rachel, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. How's everyone else doing?
Everyone else is good. And we got our Johnny Rosham. Johnny Rosham.
Yeah.
Johnny, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
All right, yeah, pretty good. Just had a quick cycle through Rush Home, see how the hometown's doing, you know.
And how was that? Was that all right?
Pretty cool. Bit quiet, but you know.
Very quiet. Right, Rachel, so this is a question I'm going to ask you. I thought that second half was a bit of a snooze. It was just have a little kip, you know what I mean? You know what? You don't need sleeping tablets with that second half performance. I thought the first half everything was exciting, everything that was missing against Scotland, certain extent everything that was missing against Croatia at times. Even though the first 20 minutes I thought that's the best I've saw England play against a really good team, and Croatia showed up tonight by knocking out Scotland. Solidarity with the Scottish people. Your best two players are your two defenders. You need to have strikers. But anyway, I thought a bit of a snore fest that second half. I don't know why they stepped their foot off the pedal. I don't know why they did that. But what did you think of that the game overall?
Can I just say shout out to Saka because he is an absolutely brilliant player. I really like watching him play. I rate him very highly as one of the youngsters in England. I think he's brilliant. The way he just takes the initiative, he gets the ball, he runs at players, you know, he takes risks. I like that. I don't like this whole, you know, get the ball in the wide areas and pass it back or hope that the fullback overlaps. This guy, he will get the ball and he will run and he will do something. And I think he's a brilliant player. So massive shout out to him. He was fantastic today. Grealish as well. Like Grealish, we all know the qualities of Grealish. I think he's a very, very, very good football player, and he needs that move to a bigger team soon because I want to see him in the Champions League against the best every year. So you know, he's a great player. Sterling, shout out to him for the goal. Got himself into the right position. Harry Kane, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, he's just not with it at the moment. I don't know what's going on with him. He just doesn't seem like the Harry Kane for Spurs, does he? Like he's just not. He's not even getting into the right sort of positions at times as well. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on there. But Harry Maguire as well. Like Nuruddin, you know how I feel about Harry Maguire. I've been saying that. I rate him as a player. Not an £80 million centre back. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's a very, very good centre back. And I think he's brilliant on the ball. And I think he showed those qualities today. I think he was brilliant today.
Yeah. You know what? Look, check my tweet out first half. I shouted him out. I said, Maguire looked really good. Like Maguire looked good. You know what I mean? And that's to me, you know me, and I know it's exactly the same for you. When players play well, you come out and praise them. Do you know what I mean? That's what you do. You're honest. There's no agenda here. You know what I mean? You're honest. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought Saka by far man of the match, and it'd be very interesting to me. He got that performance tonight, especially in the first half.
He was unlucky. Why the ref didn't give him a foul? I mean, the guy clearly got taken out. That was outrageous.
It's crazy. It was crazy. Johnny, so I'm coming to you now. Talk to me about that whole game. What did you think of the game?
I thought first half played really well, but they did look a bit shaky end of that first half. They let a few chances go. Southgate could have taken that. Would have been 1-1, very different game. I think it was interesting this game, playing, because I'm always a bit like, why are they playing two central defensive midfielders? What's the point of that? And I think against the team like Scotland that basically had 5 men behind the ball, but you know, went in hard. I really thought the game passed the guy from Leeds by a bit. You know, it would have been better to get Grealish off to him. I thought it was outrageous taking Foden off for Grealish, because Foden would have thrived on that kind of like playing against with people. Having said that, back to today's game, I thought it worked really well. I think if you look at Southgate, he's looking at the longer stages. You know, he's never played his strongest 11. He's always played people in contention, and it seems like he's still working out who his strongest team is for the later stages. So, Saka, man of the match. What an impact! what composure to come on and, and just, impose yourself on the game in such a way. Really, really impressed by him. I thought Kyle Walker played great at the back. Really solid performance from Kyle there. His pace backed things up. But Stones had a good game. Thought it was a bit interesting, the dynamic between Stones, Maguire and Pickford. I kind of get the feeling that Stones wants to play out from the back and Pickford wants to boot it sometimes. And I'm not sure what's going on there, but I think that's why Stones got taken off. He was getting a bit irate with them all. But Maguire, I disagree slightly. I thought he played a lot better tonight than he had done against Scotland.
He wasn't playing. Remember Maguire? Maguire didn't play against Scotland.
No, I mean Kane. Sorry,
Harry Kane.
I think Kane had a slightly better game. He was getting in more touches and more influential positions, and I think he'll come good. The guy's class. You know what I mean? He's a class player. Sterling, yeah. I mean, as a City fan, I love Raheem, but sometimes he just drifts in and out, and I'm thinking you should just play on the shoulder of the defender, Raheem, get in behind a bit more rather than come deep, because you better running on to things because you can use your pace. And then, Grealish, great turn and feed in the first half. That was probably the move of the game, I thought. But good performance, 1-0. Again, no goals conceded against World Cup finalists in Croatia. You can't really, but we'll see. The test is coming now. Who we're going to get in the next round, because it's going to be a lot tougher.
I've got a funny feeling it could be Portugal.
Maybe.
Yeah. I forgot for it. Ali Bumbaye, welcome. How you doing? Welcome. How are you feeling after that performance?
Evening, everybody. It was better today than the previous ones. Still, as the gentleman said there, bigger test to come, but no goals conceded, 7 points. It's a knockout competition end of the day. The result is the most important thing. I'd like to see us play a little bit better. I think everybody would. But, onwards and upwards is all you can say, really. I thought today you had Walker was good. Saka, really good. It was decent. It was all right. Improved on the last one.
Is it me or the way the fullbacks are taught now, especially one of them can try to play the risky pass forward. The other one couldn't. Walker tonight, there was loads of times where Saka made some brilliant runs and he didn't even try to attempt. He was just passing it back to Pickford. And I'm just like, that's super frustrating, because you know what? You're good enough with your passing, right, to be able to find Saka. But the question I'm going to ask, and I go back to you, I'll stay with you, Ali Bumbaye, is that Saka, to me, he can't drop him. He's played 5 times for England. 3 of those, he's been man of the match.
He's a good player. What I like about him, he's not deterred. He gets the ball and he will try and do his stuff and he'll take the knocks. And if he sees space in front of him, he takes it, which is good. So I thought today Southgate did well. The subs were good. All in all, it was a good, give the manager some kudos. He did well there today. And the team was all right. I mean, England have got a lot of options. So I think no matter what happens, Southgate is going to face, unfortunately, maybe some comeback if the performance is not there and it's followed by a bad result. Like, why didn't you play this guy, or why did you start this guy? I think there's always going to be room for that, unfortunately. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Well, I'll go to you, Rachel. Rachel, what do you think? Obviously, you love Saka. He's one of your favorite players. And you said what he played. But for me, what I was mostly impressed with is the way he takes the ball under pressure. And England don't have too many players. I look at him, Grealish, Sancho, Foden. They're the 3 that I can think of that can take the ball under pressure. But to me, what Saka showed and Foden didn't show in that game against Scotland was that he was willing to take the ball under pressure and turn and risk it, like you said. Take the risk. Take the risk of losing them. Because when you're up on that pitch, I don't mind if you're trying things if you lose the ball. When did it become a crime, a huge crime, losing the ball?
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Flawless, welcome. Just before Rachel, Flawless, so welcome. Rachel, talk to me.
I think the big difference is that I think Saka is one of those players, like, he's an excellent dribbler. Jadon Sancho is a good dribbler. Grealish is a world-class dribbler as well. I think that's the difference. I don't think Foden's dribbling is as good as them. I think Foden is a very intelligent player with his movement and his passing ability. So when he's very good at exploiting space and moving into those spaces. But I think with Saka, when they were against Scotland and there was not a lot of space to be exploited, you have to create it yourself on the ball. And I think Saka's one of those players. He'll get it, he'll turn, and he'll take the risk, as you said. So I think that's what I really like about him. I love players that can do that. They can just sort of change the game on their own. They don't have to rely on others. They'll just get the ball and they'll do something with it. I really like that in a lot of these players. So there's not a lot of them in the England squad, but the ones that have been playing well, like for example Saka, who should still be playing in the next game as well. I think he can't be dropped at the moment. I think he has to keep playing, as you guys have all said as well. The Sancho thing is a weird one. I think people have said that Sancho is probably better on the left than the right anyway, which is interesting. So I think Sterling will probably will play again next game because he is the only one that's scoring goals at the moment, and he's always a threat in terms of goal scoring. So I think he'll probably stay. Sancho just has to wait his turn, and when he does play, take it. That's all you can really say to them, to be honest with you, because I think Sterling's sort of there to stay, and Saka has to stay on the right. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Saka. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but Saka is. He has a special place in my heart. Saka.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have to be. He's a brilliant young player. He doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know what? In a weird way, he almost kind of reminds me, like, you know what? When the way he grabs the ball, obviously because they're both left-footed, they're both black, they're both like short. But we've got one of our own Man United. We've got Ahmed Diallo. The way there's arrogance just to take the ball at any place, even when you got people on your back. Two defenders coming, he just takes the ball, and the way he can eliminate. Obviously, Saka's a bit ahead in terms of the Premier League, and Ahmed Diallo is just coming into it. But Flawless, what did you think of that performance? And has Saka tonight said, "I'm having a spot in that team in a knockout on Tuesday," which could be Portugal or Germany? I think, because I think France will beat Portugal. Me personally.
Yeah, I hear that. I think France will top the group too. In terms of the performance, I'm still waking up. I almost fell asleep watching the game. Like, it was that bad. Especially the second half. Yeah. The first half was slightly better. It was bright. Obviously, Grealish was playing, like Rachel's touched on as well in regards to Saka. But yeah, the game for the most part was dry. I don't remember too much happening. I think I seen a stat and it was saying the second half, neither team had a shot on target or had a shot at all or something like that. So this has just been what it is. In terms of England in the next round, I think whoever they play, they're going out. I don't see them getting past Portugal, Germany, or France, whichever one it is. Portugal probably would be their best shot, but I still think when I look at England's defense, I think once it comes under any pressure, I think they have too much. Like, it's like England have been fortunate that in the group, they played 3 teams who have nothing in attack. They've had nothing, so they've been fairly comfortable. And England, we can see the attacking players, but the manager's the problem as well, because he doesn't seem to want to attack. You know what I'm saying? He played 2 sitting midfielders against Scotland when you're chasing the game. There was 2 tonight. It just seems all pragmatic. You know what I'm saying? It's very defensive. It's very safety first, and we must not lose. If he goes for it, they might have a better chance. I always say this, in international football, because it's not club football, you get what you're given. You can't go out and, all right, I need a winger, so I'm just going to sign a winger. Big up to my guy Ryan as well. So England's attack is better than its defense. So why they don't utilize that, I don't know. Why you're playing pragmatic football when your defense is what it is, I don't know. Like, there should be a way to get your Saka and your Grealish. The fact that Sancho's not in the team is crazy to me. That's wild to me as well. Them two Grealish and Sancho should be playing with one over, but you can't drop Sancho. Sterling he's scoring goals. So it's and Grealish set up the goal. And he's not really going to drop Harry Kane. But do you take out one of those 6s and maybe play Jude Bellingham in there? I'm not sure. It depends how he wants to set up.
Wow. You know what? It's really interesting because I feel like he's tried to make it out, like the way his mindset is. Southgate, it's Ole Gunnar Southgate, big up. Is that he wants England to be hard to beat. So but the test will come on Tuesday. So all the things that he's been banking on, that England not many goals, it's going to be Portugal or Germany, I think, because I think France might win the group, or it could be France as well. You know what I mean?
What did you think of Luke Shaw's performance tonight?
I thought he was good. I thought
he was a good outlet today. Yeah. He was a good outlet today. Yeah, he was.
The ball in the first half was brilliant as well.
Yeah. I thought
who did you say?
The ball in the first half to Raheem Sterling on the left side was really nice.
Yeah.
So where Sterling could have scored. Well, I'll go to you, Johnny. Is Saka undroppable now? With that performance?
I don't know. There's an interesting point that made on commentary was that Saka played against Arsenal against Slavia Prague, the same lineup, the same left back, and he skinned him and scored a hat trick. So I'm not sure that if that had any bearing on Southgate's picking him for this game, you know what I mean, above Sancho or someone like that. The fact that he'd already done the left back. So I'm not sure when you're a football manager how much you're thinking of who the opposition is as to who you choose your team to play. So I guess that's going to influence the decision a bit. But from the performance, certainly, I think Saka should play. The guy was man of the match by a country mile, really. You know, played really, really well. And I think that momentum, the confidence of the manager, keep him in there. It's interesting that Mount was out, and he was the reason that Grealish got the game, because Mount was out. And if it looks like Mount will be out again, and Chilwell. So,
I mean, he's going to be training. I think he's allowed out of jail, out of COVID jail, at the next Tuesday, by next Tuesday or Monday. So it's super surreal because you know what? You see the Scottish manager hugging and Billy Gilmore holding him close and stuff like that. And like, why is he not isolating? Why is the rest of the
Scotland because they making this up as they go along. That's why. You get me? It's like Southgate managing England. You're just making it up as he goes along, and that's what that is.
It's super surreal. Oli Bumbaye, what did you think of Saka's performance? And do you think he's undroppable?
Yeah, probably man of the match, man. Very good. You know, he's young, he's fearless. As I said, I like. You know, he wants that ball, and when he gets it, he's always looking to turn. He sees space, he takes it. You know, he goes forward with that ball. He's lots of exciting players in this young England side. Even though I said, you know, it was a bit better today, there's still, when I look at the team, you know, it's like I feel subdued with what I'm seeing. Of course, it's all about the results in this knockout stuff, but I would like to just see a little bit more of expression of, you know, seeing this team unleashed a little bit. You know, there's a lot of good technical ability. But undroppable, man, I don't know about undroppable, but he's done himself no harm today. You know, there's a lot of, you know, you look at England on the bench. You know, there's people who can come on and hold their own in most positions. Would have liked to have seen Kane rested maybe for, you know, 10, 20 minutes, but maybe he thought he needs a goal in. He might get it because they have to go and maybe score or.
But they didn't even do that. I mean, they didn't go for it. They went 1-0 behind. It was a weird game, really. In the second half, they didn't even threaten. They didn't go for it.
It died a little bit, it did. But yeah, I don't know about undroppable, bro. But he's done really well tonight. He's done himself.
For me, on that performance, he's the first name in the team sheet with Kane. I personally think that because
who's this Saka? You saying?
Yeah, because he
should start. Yes, after that performance, he should start. Yeah,
100%. He basically took the ball under pressure and looked after the ball and actually got England out. You know what I mean? You have to get people who can eliminate other players who can eliminate or take one or two defenders out of the game, and he did that. And I just look at England and think, well, who else have they got who can do that other than Grealish? But you can't just have one on the pitch. You need the 2 or 3 on the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. But
again, realize what you have. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Yeah.
Coming back to you, Flawless. So do you agree? Do you agree with me, or do you think?
Yeah.
No. Forward back in.
Nah. Saka's got to start after that. After that performance, he has to start, because if he had a bad performance, we will be here talking on this recap talking about how he had a poor performance and he shouldn't be starting the next game. Therefore, you give credit to good performances. You know what I'm saying? And he put in not a great performance, but it was a good performance. Like you said, he was an outlet. He was actually exciting. He beat players as well. You know what I'm saying? Like he did for the first phase of the first goal, the only goal. It was him beating a couple players, then driving into the box. So definitely playing. And then if he's playing poor, then you can put on a Foden or you can put on a Sancho. That's one thing England have. If you look at the bench, is if they got options to change it, but everything is just like for like. That was the worst thing about the Scotland game. You're making subs, but there's no change in system. It's just personnel for personnel, and you've got so many different variations. Whether it's Kane, you got Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the bench. If you want to go different, if you want to be a bit more direct, the Sancho on the bench, Bellingham. Like there's so many options. One thing England, I can't remember in my lifetime having in terms of on the bench like that, but he just doesn't utilize it because he's just playing not to get beat. Like the Czech Republic were never going to score today. They never looked like scoring. I think they had one chance that went kind of went wide, and that was that there was no threat. Their threat was minimal, I should say. So
yeah. I mean, again, second half they didn't want to know really. Second half, they didn't
why not go for it and get the momentum and go for it and go to beat them like 3 or 4-0 and get the confidence high in that. It's kind of like you just labored over the line. What is it? 2 goals in 3 games.
Listen,
the tournament layout that if you're third, you still go through. So they weren't really that bothered.
Yeah, they wasn't. They played. I had it on mute. It looked like a training game. It didn't look like a Euro, like a group game. It looked like a training game. There was no intensity, and the Scotland game was, which I was even more shocked because it was England-Scotland. That looked like that as well. All the England games, they just look like training games. They don't look like this is the Euro tournament. Like there's a place at stake in the next round. You're fighting for points. Hopefully it picks up though, because it's straight knockouts now in around the 16.
I just want to shout out. You know what, Troops? He got kicked out of Wembley tonight for plugging. What the hell is the world coming to, people?
What's going on?
What the hell is the world coming to, man? It's mad.
Is it against the rules?
Nah, it's not against the rules. They don't have that in the stadium. When did they have this rule? When did they have this rule where they're going to have that on the stadium?
Yeah, I'm just saying, innit? It seemed very strange.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely perplexed. You know what I mean? I'm just genuinely perplexed. Like what they try to do. So, yeah, it's mad. It's madness for me. Like what they try to do. Like what are they trying to do? So. It's absolutely mad, and I'm just thinking, you know what? I just want to say solidarity with him. All I know is that if it's my guy, who does the flogging with his dad, if he's down there, I've seen him at bare England games doing all of that business. So why is it now on Troops? You know what I mean?
You're trying to silence us. Is that what you're saying? In that you're trying to silence us?
No, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Seriously. But anyway, shout out to Troops, man. Those of you who don't know. Listen,
is this true? Sorry to cut you off. Is this true? No, not this. This comment about the last shot was in the 26th minute. No way was this true. Are you saying, man?
Well, in the second half, I think people had a shot, but it wasn't going anywhere near target. People tried, but it wasn't going anywhere near target. I mean, what's his name scored, didn't he? He scored, but it was offside.
Oh, Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson.
Yeah.
I thought he looked good, actually. Henderson looked good, better than Rice, because I see him hitting good balls. So actually, you know what? I was like, I'm not sure about. I'm genuinely not sure about Rice, because I thought Phillips did all right, but I thought Henderson looked like better on the ball, and he was kind of connecting with Saka. Irfan, welcome to the stream, bro.
Yes, welcome, people. Welcome, family. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi.
We've missed your press. People have been asking.
Yeah, just too much work in the evenings at the moment. Too much work.
Yeah. Listen, no problem. What did you think of the game? Did you get a chance to watch that game?
Yeah. I watched the whole game. I've watched quite a few games, but to be honest with you, you know I've got this real love-hate thing for England anyway, because the hype machine hypes the hell out of the country, makes it out there the best thing. You know, when I hear this football coming home business, I just laugh to myself. I just laugh. I can't stop laughing. And it gets more ridiculous than every generation, because I've been hearing this since the late 70s. So, you know, much as I don't want to hate England, I just want them to calm down, because all I saw was about 8 minutes of good football, and that was it. I just saw 8 minutes at the start. And big props to Saka and Grealish, because without those two boys, this England team is nothing, So, you know, by default, Southgate had to play a couple of attacking players. And I've always rated Saka. I love the kid. I think he's an amazing talent for what he's 19 years old, wherever he is. And he's fearless. And England haven't got fearless players. They've got one guy. And Grealish is very, very direct. I love Grealish. So they looked all right for 10 minutes. But after that, I mean, don't get me wrong.
The first half, to be fair, generally, the first half, England looked threatening. The second half, like I said,
but Nuruddin, what?
The second half, let me finish. The second half was an absolute snooze. because Czech Republic didn't go for it either. They just sat back in defensive shape. They didn't even try to hurt England. It was really weird. It's like they were like, we don't want to concede. We're not gonna, and you know what? He has to get the other team to make it. But England then were like, we're not gonna go try to score more goals. So it was just like a snooze fest. Like both of them were resting on the ball. But it looks like, you know, that's what happens when both teams are through in it. If one of them had to go for it tonight, it would have been a totally different game. But last night, obviously.
So is that the reason then? Is that why you think it was a snooze fest second half? Both teams realized.
I think because both teams are through. Both teams are thinking, well, we're going to be through. And Czech were keeping an eye on what's going on with Scotland and all of that. Yeah. And they're like, you know what? That's going to happen. We've got the goals. We've won a game. We've drawn one. And now if we lose one, it's fine.
But the record books will say that they won the group games. They won 2, drawn none, conceded none, and they got through. People will remember the tournament as to what happens in the next the knockout stages.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're going home. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
So this is my question to you all.
That's what's happening. They're going home.
Listen, this is my question to you, and I'm going to start with Rachel. Rachel, this is my question. Is Gareth Southgate's tactics through the group stages is a huge gamble when England have got attacking, wealth of talent of attacking players? If it goes wrong come next Tuesday, is he sacked after the game, yes or no?
Probably. I think he's not a manager that's going to take them to an international title. Mm-hmm. I think people just know that. I think they knew that after the World Cup, to be fair, but because he got to the semis, I think they gave him another tournament just because he, on paper, did quite well. Even though there were a lot of limitations and they did have like sort of an easy run, they still got to the semi-final. I think there's an issue of how he sets up the teams in terms of, as everyone has said here, the whole 2DM thing. It's a bit. They've got some very, very good attacking options. Sorry, my dog's making a lot of noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear her. But yeah, they've got some very, very good attacking players, and their midfield is a bit meh. So you'd think they'd go for a sort of let's keep the ball and try and put pressure on the opposition rather than sort of concede possession like they do when they've got some problems in the midfield and at the back. I don't think Gareth Southgate takes enough risks. Like Flawless said, he does too many like-for-like substitutions, and he doesn't. Hold on one second.
Oh, bless. Listen, I'm going to come to you, Johnny Rushome.
Yes.
He's gambled. It's a group stage. At the end of the day, England manager. It's like in England manager. I mean, how can I say? It's one of the most pressured jobs in England.
I just want to put a bit of perspective on it. I mean,
yeah, and that's what I'm asking you.
The golden generation. He played quite good football. They had the best. They never utilised Scholes. They just put him out on the wing, left wing. What was all that about? Lampard, Gerrard. You look back at some of the other England managers. Roy Hodgson, awful World Cup he had, awful. Capello. What was that all about? I mean, give Southgate a little bit of credit. At least they're getting through and they're winning games. I don't think they're quite as shocking as Capello's. I think that was the worst of the worst, really.
Yeah, that was the worst, yeah. But what I'm saying to you is that it's the tactics, because England have not had this talent in terms of especially inverted wingers and playmakers. Yeah. So
I think Southgate doesn't know his best team. He's got people coming back from injury. I think why he's playing the two, I think he rates Calvin Phillips. I think he rates him. I think, and from what I've seen of Rice this season, the guy's been a top player, but he's just not cutting the mustard at the moment. I think if you see Henderson in that situation, who can actually play a bit more of an offensive football, he looked really good. He's coming back from injury as well. It might be that you play Henderson, Phillips, and then you have a bit more of a link up with a Grealish or with somebody else in there. I just don't think Southgate's has been playing his best team yet, really. I think he's experimenting. It seems like he's still playing friendlies in the group stages, but he's got the luxury of doing that because he's got the so I would just give him a bit more of a benefit of the doubt, to be honest with you, rather than crucifying him for getting us through to the next round and winning the group.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I was saying that being the England football manager is one of the most highly pressured jobs in the UK, in England, full stop. It is one of the highest, and you can never police too many people. To me, he's gambled on his tactics. He understands that centre-half-wise, England are not talented. Maguire is his best defender, and he's not had him for the most of the tournament. He's had him tonight, but he's not had him. And Maguire is suspect as well as being a United fan. I mean, we've got here Dan United, shout out Dan United TV. England went through with 2 goals. I thought watching United was hard. Exactly. That's why the nickname by the therapy army being the people, the custodians of this channel, have called him the Ole Gunnar Southgate. You know what I mean? That's why the nickname goes, Ole Gunnar Southgate.
Well, would you rather have a Kevin Keegan who scored a load of goals, created a load of chances and went out?
Well, this is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, that's a bad look. Yeah, there's a way to lose, 100%. If England went for it and lost, yes, we would. I just want to be entertained.
I would love it. I would love it. Yeah. I would just love it if we beat you. So tell you.
Oli Bumbaye, I'm gonna come to you now. Do you think? Obviously, that's why I think it's pragmatic. I'm trying to explain the reasons why, and I'm not trashing Southgate, and I don't generally agree with what the viewers of this channel say about Ole Gunnar Southgate. But I understand the reasons why. I think if England had 2 top centre halves, and enough flawless, and maybe Irfan will say, well, you can't have all the great players that you want. You just got to go with what you've got. But if England were more secure and had, let's say, a Theo Ferdinand or a Kevin Campbell in there, or John Terry in there, right, or that level of caliber of defenders, I think he will have no leg to stand on, because then you'd be like one sitter, centre out there, and then you would have to go for it. But I think the reason why he's playing the 2 holders because he doesn't trust and he doesn't want to go to 3 at the back. But what's going to be interesting, if we play Germany, right, which could likely happen, right, or we play France, it could happen. England will have to play 5 at the back to deal with the pace out wide, especially in Mbappe, because
I think that suits him better. I've said that. I think it suits him well.
The question I'm going to ask you now, Oliver Mbaye, who do you think would suit better? Who do you think England would have more of a chance against? France, Germany, or Portugal?
You'd probably say Portugal, having watched them against Germany. But they're top heavy. They got a good good attack. It just depends on whether they turn up or not. But in the midfield, I think they should start with Sanchez. He impressed me when he came on. But England can score against them, can hurt them. So I think Portugal would be probably the one that you'd want to play. France are obviously favourite for the tournament, and the Germans are the Germans, man. I must say Portugal were poor though. Giving so much time to Kimmich, nobody going out to him, he's going to pick you out. So Germany were good, they came alive, but I think Portugal helped them well on their way. So I'd go with Portugal. But you know what, end of the day, at a certain point, you want to go deep into the competition. If you get to the semis or the quarters, you're going to be happy. We did all right. You're going to have to face these teams one way or another. I think sooner or later, for me, Gareth's all right. I've not got no major issues with him. I think England can play better. And it is, I don't think he does know his best team. I don't really know our best team. In my mind, I'm playing fantasy football. I want Grealish and Foden. I want everybody playing. I want Sancho, because we do have, for the first time, you look at the starting 11, you look at the bench, there's excitement there. There's talented players. So this is why I believe I am going to cut him some slack. So far, so good. Entertainment-wise, not great, man. I'm not tuning in. I like to watch Italy. Germany were nice the other day. I've not seen anything like that yet, but he's doing the job so far. If it all blows up next round, knockouts, then the inquest will come. Why were you defensive? Why didn't you play this guy? Why didn't you play that guy? But it is a hard job, because the golden generation more or less picked itself. I don't know, the back four picks itself. The midfield, everybody wanted to play that midfield. The only thing I didn't understand was Scholes. But this team, you know, you could play different formations. So many people can start, and I'm not going to complain. They're all good players. So there is a difficulty there. I go Portugal, Germany, France. So Portugal first, Germany second, France last.
Yeah, I think if we play against Germany, I think they will absolutely strangle the ball of us. And I think we can hurt them at the back with pace, and definitely have to pick pace off the pitch. And I think if it comes down to that, Saka will have to play because he can eliminate players. And in their midfield, they're playing Cruz and they're playing Gundogan, and they're not great tacklers. So if England get let loose, they can hurt them on the counter attack. But it'd be very interesting. So I'm gonna come to you now. Coming back to you, Rachel. Who do you think? I'll ask the same question. Who do you think will suit England?
I agree. I think it's Portugal. So I think Portugal have the same sort of issues as England. They're playing two holding players, but they do the exact same role. But there's two of them, so it's Carvalho and Pereira. I think they need a Ruben Neves type in there, someone who with a different range of passing.
Or Moutinho.
Yeah, or Moutinho. Like, I don't understand the Renato Sanchez thing, but I think because they're playing two holding, they need someone to actually link the midfield to the attack. Renato Sanchez can do it, I agree, but it might make them a bit vulnerable defensively because their defense hasn't been that great, Portugal, as well. They are top heavy, but their forwards go missing for most of the game. They have their moments, but if you get them into a position to score, they'll usually score it. They're quite clinical, like Ronaldo or someone like that. But their build-up play is really, really poor. And I think England can actually win the midfield battle there. I don't think England win the midfield battle against Germany or France, if I'm honest with you. But I think they can against Portugal. So I think Portugal's the easiest sort of team they could play against out of the three.
Irfan, I'm going to go to Flores before I come to you, but there's a comment here from Gondagi DPR. I understand that Gareth wants to go pragmatic so that we are secure at the back, but the best pragmatic teams still create enough chances. Also, why play pragmatic against teams we are superior to? That's the question for me. Like, that is where I was thinking, okay, pragmatic against Germany, Portugal, yeah, maybe against
that makes sense.
Makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. If you sell this way,
Scotland and Czech Republic,
and Croatia, these teams who never look like scoring, it's like you didn't need to, but again, he's scared to lose. Like, if you're the superior team, impose yourself on the game. If you're the inferior team, then you have to respect them. Like I said, if England play France in the next round and he sets up with two holding midfielders, pretty much nobody is going to be like, why is he playing two holding midfielders? You're playing against France. It makes sense. Or if it's a Portugal, or if it's a Germany, or you're playing against Scotland, you're playing against the Czech Republic, you're playing against Croatia. Why are you playing two? And the thing is, you can play 2 6s and still be offensive with that if one of them gets forward. But they're literally 2 6s. It's like, no, one of them can break, as we seen in the first game when Calvin Phillips got forward and ended up setting up the goal. So you can do that as well. I say this all the time, any formation can be offensive or defensive depending on the mentality and how it's played and who's playing where. Like, you can play 4-4-2 and be defensive. Same way you can play 5 at the back and be offensive depending on the personnel. So yeah, that's what he's just scared to lose, and that's what will cost him in the tournament as well. Because there'll be a time when he should go for it. Like, if they're 1-0 down to Portugal, 20 minutes to go for it. Throw everybody on the pitch.
I think he will. That's why I'm
guarantee you'll still have two holding midfielders on the pitch if they're 1-0 down.
I don't
guarantee.
I don't think he will. Fans are coming to you. Who would you prefer England faced?
I mean, I think Ollie and Flores and everyone, I think everyone, Rachel's nailed it. It's got to be Portugal. I mean, the way they capitulated against Germany, I was quite shocked, to tell you the truth. I mean, I mean, look, they've still got Ruben Diaz at the back.
Germany were the better team against France. People forget that. Germany were
a very good side.
I don't know. I don't think this is the vintage Germany we're sort of used to. I don't think it's the same level as we're used to. Okay.
No, but they strangled the ball. They strangled the ball. They
did strangle the ball, but the goals that Portugal gave away were shockingly poor defensively. They were poor. Let's be honest. You don't expect Diaz, and all right, Pepe's passed it, but you still don't let him expect him to get. I mean, where was the left back on that goal at the back, the header?
Talking in.
Are you talking about Semedo?
Yeah,
yes. I mean,
Juan Bissaka walkabout, innit? That's what that was. Juan Bissaka walkabout.
So that's what I'm saying. So I think their confidence will be shot after losing so badly against. So the weird thing with England, our team, the weird thing about it is that I think they could raise the game against the better teams. I think you could see a better England against a better team. It's just these weak teams. Listen, let's be honest. Managing England is a poison chalice. Much as I'm hard on Southgate because he is a bit like Ollie, his defensive clown in that sense. It's a harder job. It's a very, very tough job, England, right? And he's not up for it. But I've never in my lifetime, in the 40 years, ever seen so much talent in England. We have got talent everywhere. Serious talent. It's not being used. Nuruddin, it's just not being used. This guy's not going to use it because he does not want to lose. His philosophy is, I don't want to lose.
England are weak at the back, Irfan. England are really weak at the back in terms of the central.
Here's the thing, though, Nuruddin. Probably every team in the competition, apart from France, has some form of weakness. Like that, where you can pinpoint it. Even Germany, who I rate, they're my second favorites for the tournament, don't have a 9. They don't have a striker. If you put a top quality striker in that team, that transforms that whole team, but they're utilizing what they have. Same with Portugal, we spoke about. Yes, they didn't play too well against Germany, but they have weaknesses. Any team you pick, whether it's a Belgium ain't defensively that solid.
No, they're not.
They're the best, but what their manager does is, all right, let's play free at the back and utilize all the attacking players we have. Let's get Hazard, Tielemans, and De Bruyne all on it.
That's true.
Let me ask you guys, what would you, if we weren't allowed to play, we're playing, what are we playing now? 4-2-3-1. Is that how we're rolling?
I don't rate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, watching Man United.
I thought we were playing white.
There is some overlap there for sure, but if we weren't allowed to play that, what would you guys prefer to play? You're not allowed to play 4-2-3-1. What would you play?
I'd play the back three because, like Nuruddin spoke on the weak defense, so just add an extra centre back in there just for security. I'd play the back three.
I'll play like Luke Shaw there. Play Luke Shaw left centre back
there, or you could even on the other side play Kyle. It gives you so much more options and it gives you that recovery pace as well. Because I don't like any of the two England centre backs, whether it's Stones and Maguire or Stones and Mings, whoever. I don't think they are good enough. So that's why I play three at the back, and then that way you can get an extra attacking player in there as well. And you could play Saka wing back if you really wanted to be offensive. And you got Reece James. There's so many options and so many things he could do.
For me, it's going to be very interesting because I think if you come up against Germany, you're going to have to match them with their wing backs. And he's got two already there. Well, he had two who actually played in the Champions League. Like, you know what I mean? Like Chilwell, but Chilwell is not going to be able to play. But Luke Shaw can play there. And also James, you know what I mean? They're the two who can play. And he can play Mings, Stones, Maguire. And then to me, for the moment, then he can't go with the two sitters. He's got to go with one sitter and then play two number 8s. And one of them's got to be Grealish, me personally.
I think part of the issue with the formation
and then it's going to be 2 up front, isn't it? It's going to be 2 up front.
Is that every, like, there's groups of players that play from different club sides, and they're all playing different systems. And a lot of them are playing 4-3-3. A lot of the Chelsea guys are playing 5, the 3 at the back, wing backs and stuff like that. And I think sometimes it's just not gelling between where they're expecting the runs to go. Kane is not getting anyone running behind to get his flick-ons like Song would be doing the runs or something like that. So it's difficult to choose the formation because they're not really playing in the same kind of patterns that they would normally do. I think that's where Foden really struggled. It was an interesting comment from Rooney saying Foden was expecting more movement. He passed it round well, waiting for short passes and to get it back, doing more tiki-taka. But no one really was making the runs for him like they do at City. So I personally, if we weren't going to do 4-2-3-1, would go 4-3-3 because Liverpool play 4-3-3. City play a kind of 4-3-3 at times. A lot of the teams play 4-3-3. I'd go for that, really.
Who would you choose in the midfield, Johnny Rochon?
I would go personally. I'd probably go Phillips as defensive mid, Henderson in there with him, and then either a Grealish or a Foden. One side or the other. I wouldn't have Mount. I think Mount played rubbish against. I'd probably go Grealish,
Yeah, Grealish.
And then Sterling and Saka wide to give some pace and Kane up front.
So similar to tonight. Yeah. I mean, I won't disagree with that. I think Jack Grealish, that's like he did tonight. I think playing him from central positions in a tournament, because the thing about it in the Premier League, it's a faster paced game. International football is not. And when you win the ball back, he can just get on his bike, and the amount of fouls and the things he could buy for you. Let's say England go one goal ahead against Germany or Portugal, and he's running through the middle there. You know what I mean? He's going to attract players, and then because they're going to have to like try to look after him because they know that he can ride the first tackle. And for me, Saka tonight proved that he's got to play. So yeah, I would play. I would. Well, that's me. I would go for it. You know what I mean?
But I think if you're coming up against a strong team, if you have Henderson and Phillips there, they're strong enough to and they've got enough running power to go with a Germany or with a France midfield. If they came up against Pogba and Kante, they'll give them a good run for their money. But having the Grealish there with a bit of nous and cleverness and stuff like that, it's definitely going to cause problems.
Where is McTominay when you need them, man?
Oh no!
Grealish is the one that brought Kane into the game today. Kane had done nothing so far. Grealish brought him into the game directly today. That's why you have to play Grealish. You have to play him.
I got a question. So Flawless spoke about the 3-5-2, right? Playing three at the back and having like two strikers. Harry Kane sort of playing with Son when he has someone running off the back of him, sort of thing. Yeah. Could it be possible that maybe Kane might want someone like a Rashford or a Sterling to play up top of him who will make runs in behind? Would that be an option?
Yeah,
because obviously Kane, like you said, Kane does like flicking it onto players that will run in behind. Rashford will run in behind. That's one thing he does do. Sterling will do it as well, and they're pacey guys as well. It could be an option for them just to have a different sort of threat and maybe get Kane more involved in the game.
That's a great point. That's a great point. 100%. And one thing also the 3-5-2 does as well is if you want to play two strikers, you can. And if you want to play one and then have an extra midfielder in behind in the 10 role to go with the 8 or 10, it just gives you so many variables with all the attacking options you have.
Which is what Kane would do as well anyway, wouldn't he? He'd drop into the midfield and Rashford would make the runs in behind.
And we've seen Rashford is so much. He can't play up front. I don't think he's good enough to play up front on his own, but in a 2, he's fine. I think I've already said this. In a 2, he's fine, as we've seen against Leipzig when he scored the hat-trick.
Tonight. He looked poor tonight.
Well, he's having injuries. He needs a shoulder injury and he needs an ankle injury.
Well, you got Sterling as well, like you said. Pick one of the pacey. Like I said in it, Southgate got a selection headache, but he just sticks with this rigid 4-2-3-1. Like you don't have any ballers to choose from. That's the problem.
Anyway, listen, guys, you got about nearly 50 viewing here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel.
Get the likes up.
Get the likes up like you're smacking Glazer's backside, man. That's what you need to do. Or Glazer's face.
No, none of that. The Bundes not good enough for that.
You know what I mean? Big up, Rachel.
All right, peace.
Actually, Johnny, before you go, since we got you, Johnny Rusham is a diehard City fan. Is it a done deal? Harry Kane.
No.
And what players would you offer up?
Oh.
I'm not sure. I'd go for Haaland, to be honest with you.
You know what? Well, actually, Haaland will never suit your play because you like playing with no striker. And Harry Kane, the way he's playing for England and for Tottenham, he plays like a midfielder. So he'll just join Gundogan in the middle with De Bruyne, so you'll be sorted. You know what I mean?
I'd go for Haaland. He's never going to United, though, after Keane cropped his dad in, so there you go.
We were never going to get Haaland anyway. We couldn't get him. We didn't want to come to us last time. He didn't want to
getting Haaland involves ambition, which we don't have. So
yeah, we don't have that. Listen,
wait, this is the Euro talk, no United talk in it. We don't need this.
No, but I think with Grealish and De Bruyne, they'll just win the league regardless. I think Grealish is would be more impact at City.
Really
interesting. But you know what? City officially have made a bid apparently, and they offered up Sterling, which I was a bit bemused about. What do you think of that as a City fan?
Sterling,
he's one of your
character. He played amazing last season, but he misses big chances in big games against Lille in Champions League last year. He missed. He was missing again. Champions League final didn't really get his chance.
I'm quite surprised. So you'll see you later. He will never go to Spurs anyway, but I'm just letting you know.
But I think that's a rumour. I'm not sure I think he's what Pep likes Sterling, so I don't know.
I think Sterling, when the money
after Arteta left. That's what I definitely thought.
I think when the money becomes available to the big Spanish too, I think Sterling's on his bike anyway. Because I just see the City fans' reaction on Twitter, and they're like, "Yeah, let him go." And I'm like, "Raz, he's reading that. He's like, yo, you don't even rate me." But that's all. But to me, I think he's one of your best players in the last 3 years. He misses, but he still gets in there.
Yeah, he did. But he had a poor season this year. Poor season.
But who? You tell me who's had an amazing season? Nobody. Because it's been a weird.
For City.
No, for City.
Gondo had a great season.
I thought your boy Watson got found out against Germany. Ruben Diaz. Bloody hell. They give him
different team, different squad. The guy's had our season. The guy's quality.
Nah, he's just not used to the team having the ball, innit? More time City, they got the ball 80% of the time, and that man has to defend much more. He's dealing with so much more.
We've got a bit of transfer news breaking here. We got our reporter, Therapy Army, chief reporter, man like Ramadi Lassie. Juventus will be open to negotiation with Sassuolo for Locatelli, offering loan with obligation to buy. Romanian centre Degrishin could be included as part of the deal in the first official bid. 40 million. Wow. Things are
good player, Locatelli.
Things are moving. But Johnny Rusho, you bottled it. You don't want Kane. Let me get it right. You want Sterling to go, and you want Haaland and Grealish, yeah? All right.
Haaland and Grealish, yeah, definitely. In Pep we trust.
Listen, after what he did, I've not spoke to you actually. After what he did, thinking that, listen, you need to respect the game, mate. Fernandinho's your man of the match in the semi-final, and then you drop him and think you can go with that team. You're having a laugh, mate. You're having a laugh.
You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh.
All the best, guys.
I can still say it. Champions League, you're having a laugh, and you're still having a laugh, mate. See you later.
All right, guys. All the best. Take care.
Bye. Big up, man. Big up.
Take care, man.
Yeah. So coming back to you, I mean, who else have you been impressed with in the tournament? I'll go to you, Irfan, since you disappeared. Who else have you been impressed with?
Who have been
in the tournament? You disappeared. It's cooking.
Let man eat in peace, man.
My moment in the tournament, I'll tell you truthfully, my moment in the tournament was that shit goal. I just absolutely loved that goal by him. That was just such a beautiful, the way, the sweetness with the way he hit that shot. And then also, secondly, I'd say the Switzerland versus Turkey, the goals, my God, there were some serious goals in that game.
I mean,
that's
one of my favorite goals of the tournament, that goal. He rolled it.
Yeah.
People only ever do that in training. I never seen a player, in the last maybe 10 to 15 years, I've seen players do it back in the day when I was growing up. Players used to roll the ball and do all his mad skills. Yeah. But he rolled it. That Turkish brother rolled it, blacked him, cut inside, and then bent it all in one action.
Yeah. They were slick goals in that game. That really surprised me. That two teams that were really going nowhere. So that was good to see. I mean, tell you the truth, France haven't really given me anything. Germany have not done nothing. Portugal, obviously.
Germany. Irfan, this is where we disagree. I have to stop.
I was about to. I knew he was going to stop him.
I expected zero. I expected Germany to be limping home now, to be getting ready.
Less of that, Noridin, man. Put respect on Germany's name, man.
Listen, Jurgen Klopp getting ready to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
And I said, let me finish. I said, I'm giving them a 0. After that France game, I had to come out straight away and apologize. Do you know why? They played with a level of intensity that I didn't think they were capable of. And they strangled the ball, and I thought if they had a finisher, like Flawless said, against France, they would have won that game. France can hurt teams, obviously, because they've got brilliant players any moment, any time. But what they did on Portugal, to me, was an absolute total football. They literally taught Portugal football. And I keep having to repeat this. 15, 20 years ago, if I said to you, Portugal, Germany are playing, and the Germans are going to teach Portugal, teach them a football, I would have said to you, get out of my face, you're crazy. Two of the most defensive teams, tactical teams in the history of the game in European football, Germany and Italy, are now ball stranglers, ballers, passing people off the park, scoring goals like left and centre. The world of football is gone upside down, people. I don't think you're understanding me. I've been watching tournaments since 1990.
I only agree regarding Italy. Italy playing the football is a big shock to me. Not Germany.
It's your English bias against the Germans. You don't need to open your eyes, mate. You need to.
I don't have any bias for the Germans.
You have. All of that. Since you were here, since all that 50 years of drained into your Germans. And
no. Nuruddin. No. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Gerd Muller, Pierre Littbarski. I can go on and on and on about German players I've loved. I have always got a lot of love for German. It's usually England I despise, right? Even though I'm English, right? But having said that, I just don't think this is the same German quality level that I'm used to, especially in the last decade or so. But
as a team. I'm talking about the team.
It's a competent team. It's a professional team, but I don't think it's got any X factor.
Hey, but I've never seen Germany play that football in my life. Did you see the video strangling the ball? They're pressing, getting the ball back, passing teams.
Okay. Tell you what. Let's wait till they play the next game against a good opposition, then we'll see. Okay.
Portugal are not good opposition. France are not good opposition.
No. Listen, the France game, I didn't really see much in the France game if Germany to think, wow, I need to be scared of Germany. Okay, they got it together against Portugal. They got it together. They did click against Portugal, but like I said, it's only 2 games, Nuruddin. I want to see, the only team that's really impressed me so far is Italy. It's the only team that's really impressed me.
They've been very good, to be fair, Italy.
Wow,
they look fluid. Man. They look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Italy have done what they're supposed to do. They've done what they're doing.
Rachel, Ali Boumbaye and Flawless. Who, me and Irfan, am I making the Germans to be well?
No. I'm with you. I said.
No. I think Germany did play well against France. Flawless. I thought Germany did really well in parts against France. I think there were times where they were a bit lackluster, but they had some very, very good moments. And Joshua Kimmich is one of the best players in the world, and he's in multiple positions. He's absolutely brilliant. And I rate Kai Havertz as well. Kai Havertz he's young, but you can see the amount of talent he has. I do think Germany just need a genuine striker, because they've got too many sort of false 9 types or 10 types. They don't have an out-and-out striker.
And
they need
and that striker ain't Timo Werner, so I don't know who's going
to. No, Timo Werner's not a striker.
That's why Werner been on the bench. That's why Werner been on the bench. You get what I'm saying? Doing up Forrest Gump and that. Lowe's not an idiot. That's why he's not playing in that. He's fully aware. Muller can do a job there, and with the players you have around it and the midfield mentioning Kimmich and amongst others, they'll be okay. They was my second favorites before the tournament started, and they battered Portugal. And that's very impressive, because no other team is going to do that to Portugal in this tournament. I don't think France do it if they get through. It's the manner in which they did, because I picked Germany to win the game, but I did not expect them to win in comprehensive fashion. It was a 4-2, but it was thoroughly deserved. They
could have been more. It could have been more.
Yeah, they battered them.
Portugal
I need to build my case here. Ali Boumbaye, am I overhyping Germany? Or you are my third witness. Welcome. You are my third witness. Am I overhyping Germany? Or, to me, Germany, the reason people don't want to understand, I have not seen team other than Italy that strangled the ball. And what I mean by strangle the ball is, as soon as they lose it and they press, and the way Kimmich goes inwards, right, sometimes goes and drops into midfield, and Gundogan and what's his name? Pushed on. Everybody pushed on and presses the ball up the pitch. And then the left back, that Guzan guy, he goes up. So him and Kimmich don't go both together. But the way Kimmich drops into midfield with the 3 centre-backs behind him is brilliant tactics. And the pressing, and then recycling the game, and then playing that one-touch football, threading it through the lines. I mean, Kai Havertz looks like a totally different player. And I'll come back to Flawless. The reason why the Chelsea striker is not playing, Werner's not playing, is because he missed that chance against North Macedonia. And Joachim Low knows, you missed that one, mate. You ain't never going to start for me as a striker. Get that out of your head. So that's how the Germans think. They're just systematic. You missed that chance? No, none of this. Give them and give him another chance and all of this stuff. I think his time will come in the tournament. I think if Germany get through to the next stages and in the quarters, and I think his time will come. But Oli Boumbaye, am I exaggerating the German performance against France and Portugal?
Going into this, going into this, I thought there was some variables not associated with the quality that Germany have. I mean, they have a strong side, good players. Yeah, striker would be nice, but you look at who they have, even on the bench, they're all solid players. And you know the Germans, man, you know, they don't just lie down. But I didn't have them as qualifying, to be honest with you, because of, you know, Yogi Low should have left. There was some stuff happening off the pitch. So that's why I thought, nah, they're probably not going to do it. But against France, they were, you know, they gave as good as they got against the favourites, everybody's favourites. So no shame there. And Portugal, man, they picked it up. You know, they really did go for it. But I will say that Portugal did help them along the way. I thought, you know, the midfield in Carvalho and the other guy that was playing with him.
Shocking.
Pereira. Terrible.
They started to tire a lot.
Who did
they were giving what?
Who did those two remind you of?
Is that the Portuguese
remind me of
McFred?
Kante and Pogba, man. Kante and Pogba.
Portuguese McFred. That's what it was in that. That's what it was.
Oh, flawless, not you as well, man.
It was the Portuguese McFred, man. I'm telling you on that.
Mate, it wasn't even McFred. It was either two Freds or two McTominays because they do the exact same thing. Like Pereira and Carvalho do the exact same thing. At least McFred, they have two different sort of roles a little bit. Pereira and Carvalho are the same player with different names. Like the same thing.
Them guys started to, when I was watching it just all of a sudden they were starting to gas out a bit. There were, you know, a lot of bad balls, and Guerrero, who's usually pretty good as well, you know, he was just giving Kimmich as much time as he likes. And, you know, you got big guys in there, Goossens, you know, that. So Portugal helped them along the way, man. But Germany were excellent. So it was from both sides. But Germans are strong, man. They got the team, and if they pick up, then they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
But anyway, listen, guys, we already know. So this is the last one of the show, last question of the show. We already know the round of 16. We know Wales will face Denmark after the heroics last night. We're all happy for Denmark, I'm guessing. Wales have been a fantastic spirited team. So two highly spirited teams. And I'm hoping for a fantastic game in Amsterdam on Saturday. So Wales against Denmark. I'm going to go quick round up there. Flawless. Wales, Denmark. Who's going to win?
Wales, Denmark. That's tough still. Because they're two
evenly matched.
Yeah, evenly matched. There isn't much between them. You know what? Because of Bale and Ramsey, I'm going to go with Wales. I think between those two, they have enough. I'm going to go with... I just don't see Denmark. There's nothing there. I know everyone's shaking his head. I don't see.
The way they won last night, the way they won, how impressive they were.
I was so impressed.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's like it's miles. It's really two teams with not much up top. Literally.
Let us know in the comments.
That's what I'm saying, innit? If someone, I don't see any. This has got extra time written all over it. That's what this has got. It's going to extra time. Okay. That's what I'd say. That's what I'll say.
Rachel?
See, you're saying there was extra time. Go on.
I think Denmark are going to go through. I think they've got some very good players in there. To be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Yusuf Olsen. I like the way he plays. He's not the best goal scorer, but the way he links up the play, the way he drops in, the way he works hard, and he does chip in with goals. He's not a great goal scorer, but he does chip in with goals. I think he's fantastic. I think Chelsea just go and buy him because he's the reason why Timo Werner had a great season last season anyway. But I think they've got some good players. Højbjerg was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he was fantastic. He was good on the ball. He was good off of it. He was brilliant. I don't quite know how to say the centre back's name. The one that plays for AC Milan, the one who played next to Christensen.
Captain, yeah,
the one who basically did the CPR on Ericsson. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was very, very good. He's very solid. They've got some very, very good players in there. I think Denmark will go through personally.
Yeah, so I think Denmark as well. Right, we already know Oli Bumbaye. What do you think is what's going to happen?
I just flipped a coin, so it's Denmark, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going with Denmark. That's it.
Brilliant. Oh, fun.
No, I mean, because watching the last game Denmark played, I was just so impressed by their team, the camaraderie of the team, the fact that they're fighting for everything. Braithwaite's my guy. You know, I love Poulsen, but Braithwaite's my guy. I love that guy. I love the way he plays. I just saw a spirit in Denmark that really surprised me, considering what they've been through. I was quite shocked. And they're a very, very fluid. For a Scandinavian team, I was shocked. They're very, very fluid. They were very fluid. So
they had 60. They had 60. Well, it was nearly 60. Well, no, the 50,000 fans in there. Obviously, they're not going to be having that. I think that because they're in the EU, they might have to have those who are vaccinated might be able to go and travel to Amsterdam. I think the game's taking place in Amsterdam, so it's going to be very interesting.
But I think they've got too much of an all-round game for Wales. I mean, don't get me wrong, Wales are punching above their weight. I do think they've done well so far.
Semi-finalists. Semi-finalists 4 years ago they went.
Yeah, no, I just see Denmark sneaking it. I do see Denmark sneaking it just because of the high. Seeing the jubilation at the end of the last game they won. I really see a scene.
And the thing that what they've been through as well. When you go through traumatic,
exactly my point.
It only brings you together.
Yeah, because psychologically, to have suffered like that and then to get through it, because they could have capitulated, but they didn't. You see, the emotional, the high emotion of what happened to them could have really destroyed them. But the fact they've turned it around and the way they ended that last game, I was like, wow, these guys are on fire. So I do think they're going to sneak it against Wales, though. I do think it's going to be close, though. I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I do think it's going to be close.
Okay, I'll stay with you, Irfan. Are we giving Austria any chance? Because the other game is Austria-Italy.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Austria, apart from Alaba, really, do I see anything in that team? They're organised, but I can't really see much in it. I can't see them doing anything. I just think they're going to bulldoze them. I just can't see it at all. I cannot see.
Right. Going to flawless. Giving Austria any hope?
I don't think I've caught any of their games actually. So it must have been when they're playing whoever I've been doing.
It's the Alaba show.
Teams.
It's the Alaba show.
Literally just Alaba in it.
Anatovic is back. Anatovic is back for this game.
Yeah, but he's not done.
Oh, is he?
He's done nothing. He's done nothing.
Yeah.
He's done nothing.
So it's kind of like
other than abusing an Albanian player, he's done something. He got
Yeah. I can't see past what's it called, Early winning, and it'll go fever pitch as well, and people start talking about Early being favourites for this tournament. So yeah, Early will probably win, as they should. Early have done everything that they're supposed to in this tournament. They beat all the teams they're supposed to, and they'll beat Austria.
Yeah, Italy, man. I didn't know anything about Italy going into this tournament, I'll be honest with you, but they look like a team. They might not be quite as strong as Germany or France in terms of personnel, but the way that they play, everybody seems to know exactly what they're doing. I wish England had just that. Everybody looks like they know how they're supposed to play. They move nice. So I watched Austria against England. They're not that bad, but I go with Italy therefore on this one.
Yeah, in the comments, let us know, guys. It's the last couple of minutes of the show. Rachel, least but not last. I'll go to you. Italy all the way.
What, to win it? Or
no, Italy to beat Austria.
Yeah. Italy to beat Austria. Yeah, Italy to beat Austria. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Just to give you a bit of fact, people. I think it's a record now in international football. They've not lost in 30 games.
It's crazy. I know it's crazy.
And they've not
I couldn't believe it.
It's not bad, but they if you look at I looked at the games. They ain't played nobody.
Well, it's interesting. But
Flawless not repping. He's not rating Italy. I can tell.
Yeah, because people was hyping them. Like, if you was like before the tournament, if someone had picked Italy, I'm like, yeah, cool. What I'm talking about is people who they beat Turkey and Switzerland, and people are like, oh my god, Italy. Like they were supposed to beat Turkey and Switzerland.
I agree with that. Yeah,
they were supposed to beat them teams. Everybody predicted Italy.
It's the way they're playing. I have never seen an Italian team.
Yeah, I get what you're, but most people don't look at it like that.
That's my great uncle. He's never seen an Italian team play this football. This is alien. That's what people. I'm trying to get people to look at it.
I get what you're saying, innit? I'm old enough to know about Italian teams. Yeah.
Never. This is the first time they've scored 3 goals in a tournament. In a knockout.
That's mad.
That is crazy. But the thing is, look again. You have to look at the opposite. Everybody predicted Italy to top their group.
You only lose to in front of you. You can't.
Yeah, and I give them credit for that. No. What I'm saying is,
calm down, man. Let's see Italy play against a good team.
I'm giving them credit for that. I'm saying yes, you've done what you're supposed to do. I'm not giving you credit for beating Switzerland and Turkey.
For me, in terms of
I can't say all of a sudden you're the top. Yes, the football is good. Me and you could have played you could have played against those teams in that. They were diabolical. Switzerland was average. Turkey were awful. The whole tournament in that.
I agree.
Like, this is my
Turkey's locked.
Yeah, I'm saying
about Turkey. Give it a fan props.
Who is it? He said
they never recovered.
Someone forgot to. Yeah,
I thought they'd have at least one game. Yeah, I thought they'd have at least one game that would be decent, but they really didn't turn up this tournament at all.
By the way, this is my last question, and we've got to respect Windy. Apparently, on a comment, Harry Kane said he likes playing with Rashford because he gives him the ball. This was a recent comment, apparently. This is it. I'm not an England fan, but Kane said in past interviews he likes playing with Rashford because Rashford knows how and when to give him the ball. Ooh, that's a bit of a shade. That's a bit of a shade on the rest, isn't it? That's interesting.
That's 5-3-2 talk, man.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the formation. Southgate, they swap jobs.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait a second. What the next one?
I'd be Rachel and I'd get behind that. You know what I mean? You do a better job. You would definitely do a better job, 100%.
I'll try.
No, the next Wendy Grant comment about Robbie Savage. Just read that one, Nuruddin. Read that one.
Yeah. I mean, of course. That's why I put it on. Yeah. It's Wendy Grant. Robbie Savage said Italy's front three couldn't get in England's team, but look how much better their team pattern of play compared to, because they didn't go to the Euro, so he's had time to work with them because they didn't have a competition, so he was working with them. And Mancini's a top coach. Let it be right. And also, these Italian players want to play attacking football. And that, to me, is alien to me. I don't think you understand. I don't think some of the young people...
Come on, Nuruddin. We know Syria are 1-0 and then 11 back, 10 behind the ball. We know that. That's what they exist.
No, this is in their history.
That's Southgate's tactic now. That's what Southgate does.
Nuruddin, I haven't forgiven him for beating Brazil in 82, okay? So let's just leave it there.
I like the pay, man. Man said 82, you know. I like it.
I know, right? I wasn't even born.
I have never, and I will never again witness Italy play this style of football ever again. For me, they're already winners for me in my heart for truly transforming the way they play.
I rate that effort. Man said I haven't forgiven them for beating from in 82, you know. We're in 2021 and you're still holding on to it. I love that.
82 was the best World Cup I ever saw in my life, right?
He's a sore loser.
I love that.
Right.
And listen, you know what? I rate the petty because I do the same. I understand. Yeah. I get it. We come from the same
Socrates, Zico, Junior, Adair, Falcao. It was like going to a party, like a samba carnival, watching them play. I still can remember the drums beating away in the stadium. Football died when Brazil lost in 82. Football died in my opinion. It died. Go watch it.
Brazil
were dying before I was born.
Brazil were too lopsided. Nobody wanted to defend, and they had a horrendous keeper. Facts. They had a horrendous keeper. That loss actually made Brazilian football better. Because Brazil didn't realize we can't have that kind of.
No. You mean more European is the what?
No, it's not about European. No, it's not about European. It's not about.
England need an 8-2 then. Therefore,
you can't go all day every day with Brazilian football. You have to have a balance with it, and that to me, in the future of Brazilian football, change something. We need to get better keepers. We need to have a better defensive. When the European teams attack us, because teams will attack us, we can't be just arrogant thinking this is a Brazil ball. Brazil, no. And I think in the long run, that helped Brazil because you learn more from your defeats than you learn from your victories. Facts. And that, people, is the end of the show. I've had the last word. I wanted to say thank you to every one of you who come on here. Please subscribe to The Devil Avocado. And please check out, share the channel for me, please. Rachel.
Oh, sorry, my mic just came out. I missed everything that you said in the last 30 seconds.
I said them to. I know where to find you on Twitter, but please give a shout out to your channel and the shows you have.
Oh yeah, you can find me on the First XI. We have Grounded Football tomorrow, Offside Roll on Thursday. It's Nuruddin's favorite show, and we have Fraud Watch on Friday.
Madness.
So
Offside
yeah, it's the Drunk Girl Show.
It's absolutely madness. Flawless, let them know where they can find you, bro.
That's me, Flawless, on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV channel. Multiple shows. We've got Euro 2020 watch-alongs, Copa America watch-alongs. We're doing the NBA playoffs as well, both Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals, as well as all the regular sporting content as well.
Oh, nice.
We go live every day in it, so just click on the channel, and there's a high chance it will be live when you click on, whether it's early hours in the morning, evening, nighttime. Sarcasm City TV. Please subscribe to the channel.
Road to 5,000 people. Let's go and subscribe to them. Oli Bumbaye, you can find you on this channel. I don't have to say that to you. Irfan Radio on Twitter. I don't know Irfan.
Only politics on Twitter and only football with you, Nuruddin. Nobody else.
All right, that's love. That's love.
Nice love.
Yeah, this is the last comment. Maybe King was asked specifically about Rashford and they put him in this position. We've had to blow it up about his ass. I don't know how Kane could single out Rashford for under praise.
That's actually funny.
He's a City fan, isn't he? Davey, he still remembers when he put your boy on the backside. Is that a Georgie Best? Is that a Georgie Best or is that a Georgie Best photo?
It looks like it.
It's a Georgie Best. I thought it was a City fan because
yeah. He be on my channel. Yeah, he is. He's on the internet.
All right, I'll take that back. I've done some blasphemy against you. You're not a City fan, but you are a bit hard. The man that's fed the nation, you are a bit hard. The next Prime Minister of the UK, you are a bit harsh against him. Facts. Anyway, people, Therapy Army yet again, another night on another match reaction. You kept the viewers up there. It's been absolutely brilliant. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Yeah, like it, like you're slapping Joe Glazer's face, Avram Glazer's face. The other 2 or 3 brothers and sisters smacking all their faces like that Turkish coach does that. That video that goes around with a Turkish coach slaps every player as he goes around the dressing room. Fuck it like that, please. Can
I just say, Nuruddin, if you actually watch BBC One now, they're actually showing Figo score some serious goals in Euros against England. Watch the goals. It's been hard to keep a straight face because he's watching these amazing goals going against England in Euros. Watch it. Shearer and Co are picking the best midfielders, best strikers in the Euros. Watch it. It's on right now. It's beautiful to watch.
Opinion. So this is my last quote. Richard Arnold, suck your mama. That's what I said to Richard Arnold. Wow. Keep it 100. I know that. I'm gonna keep it 100. Internet against the world. You are absolutely brilliant, keeping me informed what's going on. But these mans can go. This is Richard Arnold. I have read all the rumors about following Ed Woodward. The club has not decided anything, and there are big shows to fill. If that happens, we are done, people. Banker replace another banker. Bristol University FC. That's who we are. Jobs for the boys' business. That's how Man United are. And at this moment in time, all I'm saying is big up to every one of you. Big up to Internet Against the World. Big up to every one of you in here. And I will say win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Glazers out. Glazers out. Free Palestine. Peace, people. Love, light, always. And thank you so much to every one of you and every one of the guests. Please follow the ones who are already said on their socials. Subscribe to their channels. And Oli Bumbaye, keep it Che Guevara. Peace.
Peace.